So in my opinion, I would say diversify as much as you can, and then make sure you are actually good at the thing that you're doing. I had a boss at some point in my life, and he used to tell me that the more you are good at something, the more money you get. Because now you're valuable. You're able to offer what other people cannot offer. Unaget?
And I normally say, usijieke chini. Be good at what you do and know your stand, know your value. Obviously, you will name your price, but they will see it as too much. But you understand that takes your time. You will take probably a whole 2 days, 3 days to do that one. So they have to pay for your time.
First impression matters. How you deal with your client the first time will determine how much that client is going to pay you. So first impression matters.
Yeah.
Karibuni tena to Kenyan Design Conversations. Hii ni space ya Mad Vibes, Design Arts na zile real talks za kudesign, kudevelop na kulevel up maisha yako in style. Ko hapa kukuchanua while continuously upgrading each other, and also ni place ya kuchallenge our own personal beliefs. I know you know that, right?
Yeah, so welcome to the session live where it's going to be a conversation. So it's kind of come a class. We are teaching and then backbench huko wanalala. Kama huyo mzee hapo unaona. Yeah, so it's going to be a conversation and tunaenda kuongelea a couple of things. Design myth. As we keep going, we'll have a session where you'll be asking questions. Now, by the way, when they're talking about designs or designers, hawaongelei to graphic designer. So unajua tu mtu akutengeneza poster. Hadi hao designers. We are talking about a broad industry in the design. Kuna anapenda kujiita engineer lakini ni designer tu. We have a structural engineer. She's still a designer. The only Chuck Norris left. Yeah. Yep, pia ni structural engineer but designer. Tunaitanga our forgotten cousins. Because sisi tunajua tu design wa logo na posters na UI UX. Yeah, but design ni broad. Hata hiyo kitu umekalia ilitengenezwa na design. So when you are speaking about design, it's a broad field. Welcome to the show. Let's start by design myths. So we want to call out some of the design career myths in Kenya. Zile vitu naambiwanga usifanye hivi, fanye hivi. Ama like here I work, hivi ndo ina work. We're just gonna go through all of them one by one, and it's gonna be an argument. Tutashikana mashati hapa na Mose. Yeah, to debunk, we learn also from you. You might have some zenye sisi hatujui, so feel free to speak out. And I think I will start with the first one by opening up the room. Do you need to be talented to succeed in design? Glory.
I would say no, because these things you learn, we have a lot of platforms for us to learn. You can learn online, you can learn through YouTube, you can have online courses. So it is something, if you're open to it, you can actually learn. Teach yourself how to do something. If you have interest in, probably you did engineering like I did, but you found yourself, you like product design.
Yeah.
How do I get to that? You're a smart person. Get online, teach yourself how to do it. So you don't have to be into it.
Marianne, does talent matter?
Yes, it does. It does matter, but it's not everything. It matters because it means the design part or the creative part comes easily to you. You don't need to think too much to come up with something. It just flows with you. But the problem is if you have that talent, yes, but you're not honing it, like you're not practicing, you're not hungry to learn more, the other person who is not talented, who is working very hard, sasa atakushinda. You get? So you're at an advantage when you have the talent, but if you don't hone it, then utapitwa tu. It's not enough. Yeah.
Sema chief. Wanasema ukigrind unashinda mtu talent.
When it comes to design, the design ni most of the time tuna differentiate design and art. Of which, when it comes to art, you have to be talented. But I think for design, like personally, I can't say nilikuwa talented. It was just something that came in and it became a passion.
Oh, kuna talent wrong.
So I think for design, I think anyone can do design. Like nowadays, anyone can become a designer. So it's all about learning the basics. And design is all about doing it every day and learning new skills every day. Learning how to put it out there. So like unaweza kuwa talented in design, but if you don't keep on repeating and doing it, it will be a waste. Because I've seen people who are actually not talented at all. Mtu ametoka kuwa HR, amekuja amekuwa designer. And because of the passion, they keep on doing it every day. They're making good things out here. Despite a person even, it's only when you develop a passion for design, it becomes easy rather than just having a talent.
Yeah. So it's true. Kama ingekuwa like design, talent is the only thing, then YouTube ingekuwa ina produce designers every day. Because designers wengi sana I know. Si ati kwa shule ni mbaya, keep doing what you're doing in school. But I've seen most of them, they come from YouTube college. Yeah, like some of us, we talk at YouTube college. I know.
Wengi wetu.
Yeah.
Like actually, me nilienda design, but we were doing a wide range of courses. So by the end of the day, unapata like ile nyumefunzwa like sisi tulifunzwa tuseme kama design, mimi nilifunzwa user interface. Yeah, the Adobe Illustrator, InDesign and Photoshop. Maybe Premiere Pro and After Effects. But you find that design is way too deep than just rather knowing the interface there in Illustrator and Adobe InDesign and Photoshop. So like, as much as you're going to school, also make sure you're visiting YouTube University. It will help you a lot.
True.
Hiyo yako ni ya YouTube University kweli?
Actually, university just gives you the power to read. Because I can say much of what I've learned is mostly I learned in the field. YouTube, practically at site, at work.
Character development.
Because here, yeah, it's true. You will actually finish your course here. And then you realize that you actually don't know anything in the field.
Yeah.
So once you get into that field is when you realize there's so much to learn, there's so much books to read, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
So I would say don't limit yourself. Talent is inborn, yes. But you have to be passionate about what you like. Me, I was always passionate about engineering, so that is why I got into it. But I noticed that you just don't finish campus and that is where you stop. You go beyond. You learn every day. Utanipata hata jioni. Right now I'm doing a book, structural steel connections. So yes, because now that is the field I'm in. So I have to be up to date.
Yeah.
And new things, new softwares are coming up. So you have to be up to date with yourself. So you never stop learning. So it is not, I can't say it's talent. You just have to be passionate.
True.
Yeah.
So wambie ulianza na hizo posta za church.
Acha kwanza ni chime in na story ya talent. I still believe while you're in campus, that's the time to explore what you're good at. Because for my story personally, I did BSc IT, and then I was not doing TriSem, I was doing the 2 semesters long holiday hivo. And during every long holiday, I would go and explore a new skill because I was trying to understand what am I good at. At first, I thought I would be a software engineer because I felt like I was very passionate about it and was very good at it. So I was sure perhaps nita end up kama a software engineer. But during that time when I was trying to discover new things, mi nilianza na graphic design. When he was saying sijui Photoshop, Adobe nini, I did all of those things and I realized this one is easier, it comes easier to me compared na kucode. Neza code yes, but ina flow more easily. No. So now coupling that with try kutengeneza poster za church, we couldn't afford a graphic design. So
kazi ya bwana.
Nikasema nitumeni nitatengeneza. And that's why I ended up in school trying to learn graphic design so that I can make posters for church. I did not expect that innocent act would open me up to a whole career. Unaona? So yeah, so there is that part. But now kile nalenga sana ni making sure that even as you transition into design, in terms of UI, UX or graphic design or what she's doing, be careful to see if it is something that comes naturally to you. Because ikikuwa more natural to you, you flow more easily. The barriers are not that many. Like you're not fighting through so much to come up with something. Unaget, kabla anasema she wanted to do engineering, na kaflow nayo akaflow because it comes naturally.
Yes.
Sindio like una flow tu nayo. Unamka asubuhi tu unaona tu mavitu za engineering. It's the same thing. You need to make sure that you find your sweet spot. Because if you don't find it, eventually you'll hate what you're doing. Because it's not natural. You're fighting through it. Unaget, make sure you find what works for you.
Awesome.
And also kuongezea like design nowadays si kaa kitambo. Unajua kitambo ulikuwa ufanya tu design then unaachia hapo hivi, then the rest of the guys can pick it up from there. But nowadays unapata like ukienda kwa market ndo kwa designer, you also need to learn marketing. You need to become like a salesperson because one way or the other, right now the design industry is saturated. Kila mtu ni designer. Posta za AI mnashinda mmeziona kila mahali. Vile zinakaa vibaya. So like if you are good,
una better word.
A better word ningetumia jina mbaya. So if you just have talent and by the end of the day you don't know how to go out there and sell yourself, by the end of the day it's just a waste of time because design nowadays is saturated. There's so many people in the market. So, and if you're good at it, you also need to know how to reach clients. Because trust me, utaenda itisha salary ya 100k, kuna mtu atakuja itisha salary ya 20,000. Naenda kuchukuliwa. And you'll be doing the same thing. So also know how to market yourself rather than just knowing how to use software and whatever.
All right. The next myth ni UI UX is the only way to make money. Unajua UI UX? Yes, to be real, say in Kenyan industry, UI UX is everyone is rushing there because it's the way to make money. But there are a couple of other ways you can make money. Is it true in your industry? Engineer. What do you design?
I would say it's not the only way to make money. There's so much out here. So you don't have to focus, especially now that the way she has explained, if it doesn't come naturally to you, don't force it. Find your path. We used to have people struggling with our course, and you just recommend, just do something that is easy. Nikama nikiwa high school, I did home science because it was easy, the easiest subject. You don't have to think. So do something that flows.
Ulisoma nini? Hiyo ni mwaka gani hiyo?
So it was easy. So I would say it's not the only way to make money. People are actually good at what they do out here. And I noticed when you're good at something you do, there's a time I ventured into baking, time of COVID. I love cakes. That is how I learned in YouTube. Nikajifunza, nikaanza biashara.
Ndio kupeleka home science. In high school.
Home science ni juu kupika. Unaulizwa how to wash your shoes. That is easy.
Si makeki.
So during COVID, I tried baking, or rather, I just learned through YouTube. Nikaamua, let me bake one thing. Then I thought, okay, let me sell it to one shop at home. It comes at all just as a business, and it came naturally because for me, I love cakes. So it was just making something I like eating, and it becomes a business idea. So I would say it's not the only way of making money. So venture out into what you like. It has to be something you enjoy doing. Kiamka, ungangani. Jata mi sahi engineering ki backfire, I'll just go back to baking. I love cakes, so I'll just go. So, yeah, that is my take.
Melian wodi ya posters ukenda UI UX. Ilikuwa trend ama?
Ama ulipanda pesa?
Well, msini charge. But yes, UI UX, in all honesty, ina make more money than graphic design. But pina depend ile skill yenye uko, the skill and exposure and the company you're working for. Different companies pay you differently. So you could be a graphic designer in a company that pays you 20K and be a graphic designer in another company paying you like 250K. And you're both graphic designers. Yeah? So, hatuwezi sema entirely it doesn't make money or which one is better. But in my experience, UI UX is better. But beyond that, I would say diversify your skills. Because when you're, for example, a UI UX designer, you could do UI UX in its entirety, from research to actual designing to just doing the logic part. You could diversify and be an expert in all of those three. And then you could also try kukua mse mwenye, you can do something like software testing. Software testing ni kama, yes, I am a UI UX designer. Yes, nime design your stuff and I know how the system should work. But then again, if some developers wamesha develop whatever I designed, am I able to validate if whatever they have designed is correct? Am I able to validate if the system works as intended? Nona. And that one is a whole skill by itself. Nugget. So in my opinion, I would say diversify as much as you can, and then make sure you are actually good at the thing that you're doing. I had a boss at some point in my life, and he used to tell me that the more you are good at something, the more money you get. Because now you're valuable. You're able to offer what other people cannot offer. Unaget? So kama weni UI UX designer, what sets you apart from the other 100 UI UX designers who are doing UI UX? Unaget? So sasa part yako ni to make sure if it is creating the user interface, you are the most creative in the room. If it is the logic side of it, being able to understand how people think and create a product that works for that set of people, be the best at it. Unaget? Now that's how you stand out. So money will come with how good you are at your job, and then how much diversification umefanya, and then how much do you expose your work out there, and also knowing the right people in the right places. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you. A man like Mose, who alikataa kuingia UI UX. Tuambie siri bana.
Siku hata.
Unakula dosa sana huko, place huko.
Nige nasema like all the fields of design has money. It depends on the kind of clients you have. Because seme kama when it comes to design, let's say you are doing like a rebrand of a company. Let's give an example. Safaricom are doing a rebrand. Safaricom might pay you $1 million or $2 million to do a rebrand. And if you go downtown and some certain hardware somewhere wants to do a rebrand, if you tell them 10,000, watakwambia hata stories za Java. So, history ya kusema like this field has more money, this field has less money. It's just a myth. It depends on the kinds. Juu watu unaweza amua leo uende UI UX. Lakini sasa bado ukapata watu wale clients wenye una deal na upande ya design. There's no difference. So it depends on the kind of clients you're getting. Kuna wale clients wenye they'll pay you a lot of money. There are those they will bargain. There are those that they will ask you how much. You tell them 100,000 and then that's the last time utasikia kutoka kwao. So, like, usikimbilie something just because you've heard it pays a lot. Yeah, UI UX pays a lot. Even graphic design pays a lot. But the kind of clients you're going to get in the market will determine a lot. Juu tena UI UX, wewe juu ulisikia peer pressure, UI UX has a lot of money. Ufike kwa hakuna kitu unaunganisha, you're not creative at all, you don't even know what you're doing. By the end of the day, what is the benefit? So, like, stick to your career. If you want to diversify, it's okay, but try as much as possible to make sure you're good. Because only good people who make good things out there, they'll make more money.
Umekimbiza topic, nilikuwa niongelea about the next week. Clients in Kenya don't pay. Osha huko. Tunaweza endelea tu. It's true. They are very low budget clients. Kuna episode inaitwa clients sumbua.
Clients from here.
Yeah. And then also they're just designers who position themselves badly. What's the sweet spot? How do you debunk that?
I'll go first. Well, I would say clients, they vary. If my mom was to tell me to design something for her, she will say, my daughter, nilikusomesha.
Unajiona kwa kilemba.
Definitely. Inamaanisha sitalipwa. But the way she said, be good at something you do. Because if you go to this company that is just a startup, obviously they will pay less. And especially if they have no idea about how important your field is, they will pay you less. So you have to be good at what you do. And I normally say, usijieke chini. Be good at what you do and know your stand, know your value. Because even when we do our building designs, someone can just come and say, I have a bungalow, I need you to design for me this. Obviously, you will name your price, but they will see it as too much. But you understand that takes your time. You will take probably a whole 2 days, 3 days to do that one. So they have to pay for your time. So when you're good at what you do, you will know your value, you will understand your field, and the moment you will give them the product they want or whatever design that they would want, when they see your work, they will always come back. Because for me, I have my personal projects. So I've dealt with people, I know hata wakienda kwa mtu mwingine, they will always come back to me. Mtu anarudi anakuambia, nilienda kwa mwingine, correct for me this. And then I'm like, no, we'll have to start over. I name my price from the word go. So you have to be good at what you do. So clients later. And anyway, I would say exposure also helps. Because if your first client paid you 5,000, hautajua that watu wengine wanalipwa more than that huko nje. So be exposed, networking, get to know more projects, clients will come. And also I would just say, don't undervalue yourself. Watakuja kujua hiyo bei yenye unataka. So yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Halik Garden Gala, which is located in Nairobi along Wayaki Way, next to Nairobi School, just before the ABC roundabout, where all your plants and garden accessory needs are met. We specialize in landscaping, indoor, outdoor, and ornamental plants, fruit trees, metallic flower baskets, fiber, clay, and plastic pots, garden ornaments and accessories like wind chimes, garden arcs, benches, bird baths, you name it. Just to add that unique artistic charm to your garden. So whether you're starting a home garden, running your office, or even doing it as a hobby, we've got the perfect plant for you to help turn your space into a green haven. We do deliveries countrywide. Visit us today. Let's grow something beautiful.
The other point was,
Oshamaliza.
yeah.
Una yapi ya kusema? Ama ulishamaliza?
Kuongelea clients wa Kenya wasi. Kudeal na Kenya clients, not all. First thing is unapata like wale clients you expecting they'll pay you a lot. Ni wale wazai. Unajua wale wazai, they build their business from scratch. Back then, the marketing part of design and whatever, it wasn't that much. So unapata like mtu amebuild from 1,000 to $1 billion to $1 billion shillings company without marketing, without that much marketing. What are you going to tell that person? Ukimwambia like, let me do a rebrand of your company, I'll just charge you 100 G's. Atakwambia, I built this company without that. So, like, unapata most Kenyan clients are not exposed to the world that you're living today. Facebook has a billion plus customers. Instagram has almost 1 billion plus customers. Twitter has like almost 700 million plus customers. That is the world most Kenyan clients don't see. That if I'm going to do social media design, it's not just that ati tenda tu hapo nje. You are trying to catch a new market, and social media right now is the best place to get new clients. That is the biggest place and it's the cheapest. So unapata like client ukimwambia the value of a poster is no, let me not use a poster. Let me use the simplest business card. Printing a single business card, I can charge the clients 10 shillings. But the value of that business card can be 1 million or 1 billion shillings. That is the part most people don't know. Unaweza toka hivi ukienda in a conference, ukakutana na mtu kumpatia business card. You don't know that person. You've just interacted a few minutes. Later on, kumpatia business here 1 million shillings from just a business card of 10 bob. Hiyo ndio part watu waangalie, the value that you are going to give them. So dealing with Kenyan clients is hard. If you're trying to switch from the course you're doing, or you're trying to diversify, these are some of the things that you're going to face. It's not easy. And also another thing inakwanga, first impression matters. How you deal with your client the first time will determine how much that client is going to pay you. So first impression matters.
Yeah.
Ukitumia like, even when it comes to your portfolio, ukitumia your HR or that hiring manager, first impression matters. Akiangalia hivi portfolio yako, atakujudge from there. Atajua this guy we can pay him 100 G's, or this guy Wacha tumfinye na 40,000 ikienda sana ama tumrudishe tini mpaka 30. So valuation, design and the tech world today when it comes to design is all about the kind of value you bring to the client or the market. That will determine how much the client is going to pay you. So because before you send that portfolio, before you send that quote, before you go and meet your client, try to make sure that you're solving a problem or you are bringing value to that company. Because if you tell a client, nimefanya research, company yako is doing this, but if we tweak your logo and your brand colors here and here, I think you're going to reach from roughly 100 Gs to 200 Gs. That is a value of 100,000 you bring to that company. And that client will see like, yeah, it makes sense.
So unamaanisha ukiwa na clients wenye wanakuwa underpay wengi, that's a you problem at some point.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. At some point.
Degree.
Because also don't undervalue yourself. There was one time my cousin, alikuwa anatuma quote. Then after kutuma quote ndo akarealize like ameji undervalue. Umetuma quote 100k but you realize the project is supposed to cost like roughly 200 Gs.
Alifanya ajali, endelea na project.
You've already committed.
Ashapewa 50%.
Yeah, so like don't undervalue yourself. But also make sure your work is good. Your work should go hand in hand with the price you're going to charge.
No.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to the next one. Do you have to do everything to survive? Ama Kenya unaweza specialize. Juu ukienda River Road kuna jamaa hapa anakutengenezea logo, amaliza kutengenezea poster, amaliza kutengenezea hizi banners, hadi website. Is it the Kenyan market ama can you really specialize in a field, be best at it and get paid well?
Mimi naweza answer on that one. Mimi naweza sema recently I had a conversation with someone who was in their 40s, like ije tuongeza miaka kama 30. And they were saying when you are in your 20s, do not specialize just yet. Adi kama for example, kuna maybe sisi wenye tunasema we are senior UI UX designers, we can say that when we are in a place like this, for example, but there are certain places where we might go and we will not shout and say that we are senior designers. Because in certain places, that might not be what they need. Unaget? Ukiwa hapa sahi, unafaa kuspread yourself as wide as you can to get to know as much as you can before you niche down. Because tunaweza amka kesho, UI UX imeisha, umefunga hiyo job. Kama sahi with AI, right? We give it hata tuseme 10-15 years, hata nimestretch sana, but the reality is, in most careers, not alone the creative side, na UI UX, the probability of that career sustaining you for the rest of your life is close to impossible. Unaget? So I'm not discouraging you, I'm letting you know the truth, what the truth is. And the truth is, get to know as much as you can right now. Nozuri ni, the more you know, the more valuable you are. And the more you know, the more you are able to survive. Nona, wakifunga UI UX, unaruka kwa developers. Wakifunga hiyo, unaruka to something else. Wakifunga hiyo, unaruka to, unaget. That's where you get to survive the world. And at the same time, it doesn't mean ati kilo umelan juu ameifunga the value ends. There's so much that you're going to learn, for example, in a career like UI UX, that goes beyond the designing part. You will learn how to be a deep thinker. You will learn how to behave around people. of different calibers, you'll be able to understand how to give the best first impression. Venye alikuwa anasema, when you go somewhere and you introduce yourself, are you memorable? Ama atatoka kama hata akumbuki venye unakaa because you didn't say that much that was important to them. Unaget? So even as time goes by and as you do all these things, you're still learning a lot, but you keep ile mindset ya sijafika, I have not apprehended, I'm not all that. The minute keep it in your mind that kesho I need to learn something else, niyo kesho ingine nafaa ku learn something else, and you keep your mind in a state like that, you're in a very safe place. And then let me chime in kidogo ile story ya Kenyan clients and whatnot.
Sikupea chance. So
it's okay. Yeah. So now Kenyan clients interact na baby boomers, say wako in their 50s, 60s, and then sa kuna our millennials, but late millennials, wenye wako in the late 30s, from around 35 to around 40, 42. And what I've come to understand about these people, number one, their experience with young people like us has not been the best. So yeah, haoni venye yako older than you, alafu ati akupe 100,000, sijui ndo sijui mdesigner sijui nini. Unageta nashindwa, this small mtoto mdogo, what are you telling me? But at the same time, I have seen people around that same age being able to value the input of a young person because they realize ukona knowledge yenye yeye hana. You are able to interact with the world as it is today. Unajua kuna mtu mwenye haielewi kile inaendelea kwa world through your eyes. Unaget? Like they wouldn't know what works for a campus student. Like tukisema tuna design logo kama ya JKUAT, kuna logo yenye inaweza capture wase wa campus na kuna logo yenye iko like inakaa ushamba ama inakaa ya watu wazee. Unaget? So they understand that you would know what works for people your age or people who are in your circle or age group. Unaget? So how you leverage that is by showing them what you have already done. Wana sasa tumerudi tole pale pa kujituma na kuexplore and what not. So them paying you to do a job or to do something and they actually pay you very well, it will be umejongelelea aje, can we see your portfolio, what does it have, and honest to God, who do you know? It matters. Aki, it matters. Ni ukweli. It matters who you know. Kienda utaje, maybe useme, I was in a conversation with Chantel and we were talking about this and that. It shows who is in your circle. Unaget? Kuna majina zinaweza kufungulia milango. Does it make sense? So now kama very venye tuko hapa sahi, you would say we were with KDK ama we were with the UX girl and blah 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 blah. And when you mention stuff like that, unakaa kama mtu mwenye ako very serious because you're in certain circles. Unaget?
Yeah.
That is what I would say.
So umesikia mtaje jina yangu. Tapia job. I want to differ with your story specializing because wanaitwaje, logo designers have been there for a minute. Logo designers, they have been there for a minute and they are still there. So you can specialize because sometimes you may diverse na alafu ukose to track and then within a couple of years unakuwa stuck because you are not special in one specific area. What will you say about that?
Kinish wafunge ama AI kuja ifunge.
Logo designers will be there for life. I don't think AI will replace them.
They'll be there, but there's too much competition. You'll be drowning.
Now
You'll be drowning. Ati?
Be good at it.
You're good at it, but you're drowning. All of us are good at it. Alafu AI, now that tumekuwa tukidesign, it has been reading our information. It has been learning our patterns, and it can do exactly what you can do and better. Then what?
Nani ako na maoni hapa? Kuna mtu ananisupport? Mnaniacha hivi?
Mimi atasema like whatever we're doing is or the place we are today is industrial revolution. There was that industrial revolution whereby machines were replacing humans in the factories. So today we are in industrial revolution where AI is trying to replace humans. And there was a industrial revolution where people were moving from drawing with hands to digital drawing. So right now, if someone asks you how much the portrait of Mona Lisa cost, it's a lot of money. Close to 98% of the whole population can't afford it. They're not 100% sure. So to where we are going, it will reach a time whereby, like, I think, was it last year, YouTube walisema kama content yako iko na AI, wewe itafuta vile utajilipa, sisi hatuna story, yeye ituhusu. So it will reach at a point whereby original content will be more valuable than AI content, because AI will saturate the market. And then you find that the problem with AI, I don't think AI will reach at that point whereby it will be like human exactly. Because like right now, nimekuwa naona poster mingi za AI, then you're wondering why are people doing this? Because utapata like, nimeona like close to 50 posters, and all of them, they have this.
They look the same.
Exactly. AI has that problem. As much as it learns from humans, but at the end of the day, it tries to do something perfect. And like as humans, tunakuanga na shida ya like imperfections.
Imperfection is perfection.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for those who will maintain and be raw, msifikirie roho ingine and be
Ndio nafikiria.
So let me use this. For those traditional designers who will choose to keep their traditional ways of designing, it will reach at a point whereby they'll be more valuable than the modern designers. Because for them, they'll create something that gives emotion and attracts more humans rather than something that you just want to pass an information. Ukiangalia hizo billboards za Coke, test the feeling. Hata ukiona yeye billboard yenyewe ni test the feeling. You can feel it.
Na ukimerge the two, na usi hold on so much to the traditional way of doing it.
Yeah.
Na tena usi rely tena sana on AI. What if you find a way to merge? Because AI is not necessarily the enemy. In some ways, it is efficient.
Actually, as of right now, most of us designers will do that.
Yeah.
Unapata like inafikanga at times like unatumiwa brief, unaangalia brief,
Napatia cloud isome.
Wasema hai, acha tujaribu tuingie Gemini Cloud and
Summarize for me.
yeah. So one of the other, like, walikuwa wasema AI won't replace everyone. AI will replace those people who won't adapt. So some of us, we try to combine AI and our human touch. And also AI, one or the other imefanya sometimes kazi imekuwa tunaweza fanya kazi haraka kidogo. But we try to keep it as original as possible.
Yes.
So hiyo ilikuwa ni point ya like wale kuna episode ya Junk of All Trades. Najua si junk, but Junk of All Trades. For me, nikiokole, nilifanya graphic design, kafanya animation, kafanya nini ingine, kafanya video production, kafanya sound. I did all these things, but by the end of the day, I narrowed it down to graphic design because I realized this is where I can get most of the money. It's not that I can't do video production, I can. It's not that I can't do animation. I can, but
We go where the money is.
yeah, you go where the money is. But I also have knowledge. Saizi mtu akikuja kuniambia hiyo story ya nini, I'll just tell you the process of video production. Ukiniambia story animation, I'll tell you the process of producing an animation. I have that knowledge. So it's one or the other, it's advantageous to me because mtu hawezi kuja kunibeba stories za Java when it comes. So hiyo story ya learn so many things, it's helpful, but make sure like you're trying to be as good as possible in one field because you can't be good on everything. Siwezi kuambia I'm perfect on video production or animation, no. But when it comes to design, I'll tell you I use like almost 6 to 7 softwares to design. So, yeah. But don't limit yourself on one thing because the world that we're living today, kuna mse atakuitisha logo, kuna mse atakuitisha poster, kuna mse atakuitisha animation, kuna mse atakuitisha picha, kama unataka kufanya photography. As you're trying to survive with the rotonomics.
Na the more you diversify, the more money you can get in this way. If you're not employed, for example, you don't have an income, uko sure itakuja. And then now if you're in the gig economy where you are mostly dependent on the clientele that comes to you. Sasa maybe this month utapata mtu wa graphics, but maybe next month wame reduce. But because niko good at videography, if a videography gig comes, at least I can do videography as opposed to I can do graphics and then videography ni kidogo tu, and then your client amekam but anataka a very good job, mini lose your gig as I wait for gigs za nini. So maybe I think it's circumstantial. So kama you are in the gig economy, ama kama bado ndo your career is starting out, ama ndo kwa kampo, I say diversify and be good at it because I believe ukiwa kampo you have a lot of time, sindio? Amkwangi class like 7 to 7, sindio? So it means kuko na a lot of hours hapa katikati that you can do a lot. So then that would mean you use that time to hone your skills as much as you can. Ndio ukiwa so good at so many things, you're never idle. Kama si client wa graphics ni client wa poster. Kama si wa poster ni UX. Kama si wa UX ni animations hivyo. So that way, I don't know, you get money, quote unquote, you get money, and even in the event you get employed, you still have some hours where you can still take some of these gigs and still have a lot of money. Because employment ni mbaya. One day we have a job, kesho wamefunga. Sindio? Leo mko, kesho gates zimefungwa. It's very sad. So me bado I'm dying on that hill of diversify and be good at a lot of things. That way uko, mina ninginia towards safety. Yeah.
And then kuongezea hiyo, students, acha niwaambie reality. Most probably 60% with the Kenyan economy today, the course you're doing, it will never help you.
It's true. Oh yeah.
You can hate me or I'll just tell you the truth.
It's true.
60%, see at a 50, 60%.
Yeah.
Close to 70.
Kweli.
Your course will never help you.
The same for you.
No.
So, what you do right now, like, I'm not saying you quit what you're doing. Don't. But you guys,
70%.
Sisi alikuwa hivi tukiwa kole. We used to have a lot of time. Tulikuwa tunachezanga game student center. Like, uko na lesson moja asubuhi, ikifika saa 6, hiyo ni lesson ya 3 hours ishaisha, kutoka saa 6 mpaka saa 2 usiku ni student center kucheza game. Hatukuwa tunajua how bad the world is. So like right now, I'm not saying that ati you ule mse mwenye ati unatoka kwa class, unaingia uko hivi. Have a social life, but try to spare some time to learn new tricks.
Yeah.
It will help you one or the other. Because your course ni unafanya, Fanya tu.
It's not entirely useless.
So in short
It's not
tunasema
entirely useless.
That's what nimesema.
It's not entirely.
That's what nimesema. Sijasema uquit. You just continue doing it. Continue doing. You never know. I'm not a prophet. You never know. But
fanya hivi, acha hiyo shule. Leta hiyo kitu.
Maliza.
Just do whatever you're doing because hata mimi yangu imenisaidia.
Okay, imenisaidia.
So Kemi nasema ni
entirely.
try to learn new tricks. Like there's a lot of content online, right? Kwanza ukiingia YouTube University, like it does like almost everything. Yeah. Kwanza ukipata wale Wahindi.
Kweli.
Lakini to be honest, about Gloria's career, kama uko kwa hiyo field ya mjengo.
Sawa.
Nyumba zinajengwa kila siku.
Hiyo soma.
Uko sawa.
Usituangushie buildings tafadhali. Ama Gloria unasema aje?
Atuangushi buildings. Shida ni client. Unataka shortcuts, that is how you get your building. Mimi nimekwambia usiende 10 floors. Ukaamua acha niongeze. Obviously I designed for only 5 floors. You decided I want to add. Utaanguka.
Sunamsu.
What am I suing? Mimi nimeandika hapo note yangu nikasema I designed for 5 buildings. Ikaenda approval hadi county. So my hands are washed.
You go to the court na unasema huyu nilimpea 5. Anyway, let's move on to the other one, which is, so in short, acha to close on that. In short, start wide, but don't stay there forever. I think tutapata middle ground between that, yeah? So let's move on to the next one, which is, do you need a large amount of following to be successful? And I think nitaanza na Marianne. Marianne msimone hivi ni big wig. She's a big wig. Hiyo kwa hadi na classes zake. Atawambia more after this. But acha tupe 2 or 3 insights about that.
Followers. Okay, followers, they'll make you feel nice. You'll feel nice ukiona hapo kwa account yako inakwambia 10,000 people are following you. But it doesn't always translate to money or opportunities. I would say the important thing is the value that you're bringing on the table. What value are you bringing on the table? If those 10,000 people are following you because they like what you have and they learn from you and you inspire them, then that might be valuable. But if those 10,000 people are following you because you're cute, or they like your face, or how you talk, I don't know, or, the trivial things, if that is why they're following you, hapo kuko na shida. I don't see how that is translating into money. No. But then again, it also helps because of visibility, because when they follow you and then other people see that they are following you, ama they like your content, and then see, that's how it works. You see something that somebody you're following, ame like, pia we, somehow the algorithm brings the thing to you. It will broaden perhaps your audience. And by the grace of God, you might meet somebody who likes your job for what it actually is, and that translates into money. So many followers, sisi sama upute effort hapo, eka effort kwa value, have the value, and then if God blesses you with a lot of people to watch you as you do those things, good for you. Yeah.
Mose nao followers wako wawili.
With my 2 followers. The industry yenye tuko ni enda ambia mse mimi ndo nimekutuma. That is how this industry works. I'll do something for Dave. Dave sees good. Dave has a friend of Dave atamwambia like I want to do rebrand. Do you know any person? Dave, I know this guy. it does it well. Then you do it.
Another
It looks
person,
nice.
another person.
Asema, your guy, then that friend tells his friend, and that is how your network expands.
Yeah.
Hakuna hapo.
I'm sorry for my gender biasness. So, like, when it comes to the industry, it's all about referrals, but it depends on how you want to approach it. Unaweza tegemea referral and your work is, you never get that referral. You can go online, you can create a community online, your followers, and then you can grow from there. Because like right now, the biggest market in the world is, it's not for billboard, it's for social media. Because like close to 60% of the world population has smartphone. And close to 60% of the world population are on social media. Doesn't matter which one. So you can create an online, looking for clients or whatever, how it's going to help you. Or you can choose to go the referral way. Who knows who?
Do you need a lot of numbers to flourish? Do you need like so many followers for you to
Ask the whole focus key just for again.
And only follows online.
do you need like so many followers for you to flourish?
You can flourish with many followers because social media was effed up wakati will introduce algorithm. So those people who have more following and they have more engagements, they tend to reach more people, and you never know who's going to see your content. So I think one or the other, online, as much as you can try to bash it, yeah, it will help you one or the other. You can also create affiliate marketing.
Does it matter the number of followers you have?
Yeah, it does.
It matters. Okay.
You have how many followers?
Let's not talk about my followers.
Only big wig.
Let us not talk about it.
Oh, okay, let's say you have 10,000 followers and you have like monthly engagement, you have like close to 50,000. Kumaanisha you're reaching a lot of people. Right?
But that doesn't translate into money though.
No, not all the time. It's not guaranteed.
Followers don't pay, it's clients who pay.
Exactly. So you don't. I don't think.
For your followers, for your
0.0 10%.
you can have
clients.
10,000, 100,000 followers, but you only get 2 to 3 clients from that.
Yeah.
There are those who have like 1,000 followers and they don't create clients at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But you get 1 or 2.
But if you have a lot of followers, kumaanisha you have a lot of engagements, you're reaching a lot of people. Chances of having more clients are high rather than the person who was
Less amount of followers.
Yeah.
You think so?
It's not always guaranteed, but chances are.
You'd rather have them than not have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gloria, field yenu nini followers wanamata kweli. Sionangi hata watu wakipost nyumba. Ni nini na nini?
Sisi ni contractor. Sisi yetu it's more of referrals. Nilikujengea nyumba, then your friend sees it. Maybe umwambie I was good at what I was doing. Unipe kazi.
Yeah.
So yetu is more referral. Yet we don't know how to beautify something, because if I show you cement, and not everyone is attracted to that. You guys can attract clients through maybe your poster is really maybe capturing. It has tunasemanga simple and brief. Something
aesthetically.
Yes, exactly.
But
for us, cement.
Kuna watu wananuka nguvu, wanataka tu kusikia hiyo cement.
Really?
But I think for yours, it can be more of an educational content on your social media accounts.
Yeah.
You can be telling someone usitumie chuma ya doshi, tumia hii chuma ingine. Si ati nasema I'm just using a
It's true. That can work, but for us, mostly followers, not that much, because your work will speak for itself. And the only time we will post is maybe now how it began, start to finish. That is what we post mostly. How the building started from an idea to an actual. So for us, it's not, followers, not that much. It's mostly referrals.
Followers tuachie Yesu.
Iko. Lakini, see, in terms of money, I don't think it's that important.
Awesome.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Halik Garden Gala, which is located in Nairobi along Wayaki Way, next to Nairobi School, just before the ABC roundabout, where all your plants and garden accessory needs are met. We specialize in landscaping, indoor, outdoor, and ornamental plants, fruit trees, metallic flower baskets, fiber, clay, and plastic pots, garden ornaments and accessories like wind chimes, garden arcs, benches, bird baths, you name it. Just to add that unique artistic charm to your garden. So whether you're starting a home garden, running your office, or even doing it as a hobby, we've got the perfect plant for you to help turn your space into a green haven. We do deliveries countrywide. Visit us today. Let's grow something beautiful.
So in short, visibility matters, but it's not everything. You still need to. But in ukweli hapo story ya nini referrals na networking.
Important.
Most of my biggest clients come from referrals. Yeah. So
Wazita naweza anzisha kampuni yangu, then I'm like, do you know someone? I will call a friend.
Yeah.
Mwambie, do you know someone who does this and this? Atani refer to someone else. So referrals is important.
And that's why you guys should. We have a community on WhatsApp. I think it's best. It's been nani to organize you. If you guys can join, we're usually there to exchange ideas, where we engage. Ukiwa na question, you can raise there, and that's where you get network and referrals.